girl with a preppy vibe. Came to the spot with a friend of mine. She caught my eye. From the beginning, I was hooked. I can't tell a lie. Fresh, dressed, and fly. I respect her mind. Some dude trying to impress, but looking goofy at the same time. He bugging, she looking. I'm going for mine. Confidently, I approach with that eye-to-eye contact. She smiling while adjusting her hair, so I smile back. Pretty girl, what's your name? She said, is that true? Cause if it is, your name perfect for you. My name handsome. She said your name fits you too. See, we was clicking, and after that, time just flew. Then that time came to talk to her pops. He gave his blessing, and then that mind frame I had was honoring and protecting. I knew she was the one when we met. I found my future girl, and no other woman compares to my girl. Yeah, I knew it from the start.
Hey y'all, welcome to the live stream. How y'all doing today? Let me tell you, I could not locate my microphones. So I don't know if I misplaced them, if I lost them, if they're here somewhere. I just don't know. But I am here and we are winging it. So let me know if you guys can hear me, if you don't mind. Let me know something, please. Yes. Let me type this in the chat. Okay. All right. So let me see. Okay, how you doing, Mr. Lewin? You know it. Where them fans at? Hey, hopefully you guys can hear me and you will let me know because I do not have my microphone. Okay, he said we can hear you. Do I sound clear or do I sound muffled or anything? I just want to confirm. Just want to confirm, y'all. Okay, so we have Lewin, you know it. Welcome to the live stream. Thank you for being here. We have James Ferris here. How you doing? I'm doing good, Mr. Ferris. How are you doing? Thank you for all of your comments on my post. I get at least three a day, if I'm not mistaken. How are you doing today? Where are you from, Mr. James Ferris? We got Abby Sports Betting Picks here. Hey, how you doing? I know who you are. Welcome to the live stream. Thanks for supporting the channel. Yes, he's out of Canada, y'all. I am doing good today. Only issue I had was that I couldn't find my microphone. So I knew that I tried to take them with me when I went out of town last week. I never used them. So I don't know if I lost them wherever I was at or misplaced them. I don't even know, y'all. So I went out to my car, couldn't find them. Okay. But yeah, so how are you guys doing? So we got Lou, you know it, saying, yes, we can hear you. Awesome. He said, we want to know where them fans at. Let me tell you, the fans are they're hiding because it's cold here. Okay. Apparently it snowed here this past Sunday, y'all. I was not here, but it snowed. So when I got back Monday night, I saw all this snow on the ground. I'm like, when did this happen? I didn't even get any kind of notification for it, y'all, but it was snowing here. And yeah, it's cold. So okay, we got Abby saying, yes, I can hear you. Lou, you know it. And Abby says, yes, you're clear. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Then we got Taranio Kelly saying, blessings again from Jamaica. Love the positive vibes. Yes. Thank you. Welcome to the live stream, y'all. Happy holidays. I cannot believe that Christmas is next week. Y'all. Can't believe it. I was on the phone talking to my dad, which is why I started my live stream late because I had to send them a couple things that they wanted. They wanted he's let me on a sidebar. So my dad is now the primary cook at the house now, and so he had bought these pans and he didn't like how they worked right. And so a friend told me about the blue diamond pan. So he just got it in the mail yesterday, and so this today he had already taken it out last night, and he went in the kitchen this morning and cooked his eggs and his fried pork chops. Honey, he is excited about about this pan. So he when I go back home, he wants me to help him go through all the kitchen stuff. We're gonna get rid of the old stuff. We're gonna buy all new pans, and he wants the pans to match this blue diamond pan. So that's gonna be on my list when I go back to Alabama, whenever that is. And then on top of that, he wanted a gas grill. So I got that ordered, and he'll get that on next Friday. So he won't have it on Christmas Day, but he'll get it the day after Christmas, so he can cook whatever he want to cook on this gas grill, y'all. So I just give the people what they ask for, okay? But yes, that's why we're late starting the live stream. But I try to be on time. All right, so we got James. Okay, you're from Norfolk, Virginia. Okay, nice. Abby says time does fly. Yes, it does. It really does fly. I mean, it's about to be 2026, y'all. So let me ask y'all this. What's one thing that we not gonna take into 2026? What's one thing that we're gonna leave in 2025 and not take into 2026? I'll wait because I need to think about that myself. Let me put that out here in the chat. What's one thing? Let me type this out. Okay, what's one? Y'all, I cannot type for some reason today. That we are leaving in 2026, that we're leaving in 2025 and not taking into 2026. I know that's right. Abby came up with it real fast. He said we're gonna leave negativity in 2025. I mean, I agree with you with that. I agree. We're gonna leave negativity back where it belongs in 2025. It should never came in here with us. But I will say, you know what, y'all? Let me just say this. Okay, Lord, you know we're gonna leave them haters in 2025. I know that's right. We're gonna leave all them haters where they belong over there in 2025. I agree. But speaking of haters and negativity, y'all, I'm gonna try my best not to overtake the live stream talking about this one topic, but y'all know how I get on a little tangent, okay? And I be having some thoughts. And I want to talk about Mr. Sherrone Moore. Okay. I know you all know who that is. Okay. Um, if you don't know, let me know that if you haven't heard about Sherrone Moore, because even if you don't know, I got a couple of videos so we can all get on the same page. But y'all, let me just tell y'all this. I've seen it's interesting with that whole story because I've seen different like accountings, if you will, but I'm trying to talk about what I have seen like to be fact from like the news, like credible sources, right? And I've seen where people said, oh, the young lady. Well, let me go back to what happened here. You know what? Let me just go to the video and then let y'all see what's going on, and then we're gonna talk about it. But just to give a short recap, he was um the head coach at Michigan, and apparently, I won't say apparently because apparently at this time it's confirmed. It was confirmed that he was having a relationship with a staffer. And so at Michigan, it's against their policy for you to have relationships with people on your staff, your subordinates and stuff like that, right? So he did it anyway. And apparently he was getting paid a whole lot of money in this job, this head coach job that he had. And he only been in the job maybe a good year or two. And so I want to say with all of his base salary and benefits, y'all, he was gonna make like $30 million within like, 5 to 6 years. Like, have y'all not heard about this? Also, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Support the channel. It's free, y'all. Help a sister out. But yes, so moving on. So yeah, so he was gonna make up to $30 million, within like 5 to 6 years. And so I am just perplexed as to how a person is in a position to make that kind of money. You hear me? And lose the bag. I mean, y'all ain't talking to me in the chat, so I'm gonna just keep talking. Because I will do that. Like, how can you be in a position to make $30 million? This man is 39 years of age, if I'm not mistaken. 39 years old, making like I think base pay was like $5 million a year, if he wins like any ball game, stuff like that, that he would get an incentive, all that good jazz, right? And you making that kind of money, and you making them kind of decisions. Let me tell you guys, one of my friends, her brother is a lawyer. Her parents worked really hard and put their three kids through college. He went to my alma mater of Tuskegee University for undergrad, and then he went to, I think, New York University for his law degree. And so he was working at a very prestigious law firm, making well over 200K per year, right? And so he decided that he wanted to um take a different type of job where he would get more courtroom experience, but it was going to be a lot less pay. And her dad was like, he could not understand how he would turn down that kind of money. Because think about it, his parents work, like I said, they worked really hard to put all three of their kids through college. I mean, the whole shebang. Like, they did that, but they want their kids to have like a really good life and set them up for success, right? And his dad could not understand why his son was gonna go from like a 200+ thousand dollar job to like a little bit under six figures, right? So yeah. So I thought about that when I saw this. So Abby says temptation got the better of him. I agree with you on that. Temptation, I guess. But let me say this, Abby. And you know what? Let me go ahead and play this real fast because I was looking at, y'all know I watch Anton Daniel stuff. I do, but I'm gonna tell y'all. Normally, I agree with what he says to an extent. I will say, I won't say it's 100% absolute, but what I couldn't understand when he did this particular conversation is that he was basically saying that you know he can't stand women now, and men shouldn't get married to women, as if this man Sherrone Moore's downfall is because of the act of a woman. So let me just go ahead and play some of that. I'm gonna probably interject every now and again, but interact in the chat and we'll stop as we need to, okay? So let me get into that real fast.
Over there. What if that's how everybody found out?
I don't know. I'm just, you know what? I just let me just make sure that I stay out the mix. I don't even like women right now, but this shit.
Yeah, just do the right thing. Just do
No,
what
no,
God
it's not about
do
it's
what
not about
God would
doing the
have you
right
to
thing.
do.
This ain't got nothing to
I'm
do with
trying
doing
to
the
tell
right
you,
thing.
Doing
just
his green
do.
legal service, helping a student out. Nope.
This ain't got nothing to do with doing the right thing.
How does it not have
Yes,
anything to
it
do with the right
does. Do
thing?
the
Had you
right
done the right thing,
thing.
you wouldn't be in this position.
My perspective of why I'm saying what I'm saying has nothing to do with doing the right thing. Staying away
Shouldn't
from
it?
women, because women will always be the downfall of any guy, whether you did it or not. All it takes is an accusation, is just staying out of the fucking mix.
So why are we hopping over doing the right thing?
So let me say this, y'all. So I get his point of when he was saying that, women can be the downfall of some men when they are accused of things that they did not do. I get that, but that's not the situation at hand with Mr. Sherrone Moore here, okay? And that's what this conversation was about Sherrone Moore and what he had going on. And basically, what has been investigated and proved is that he had an inappropriate relationship with his staffer. Now, as I may have mentioned, at that university, there's a policy where you cannot have a relationship with your staff. And I would like to say that a lot of jobs and companies have the same policy. So why would one say that the downfall of this man or men in general is because of women when I don't understand why he didn't adhere to the policy for the institution in which he works for? for the contract that he has. Like at some point, I'm not understanding, but we're gonna let this continue playing. Let me know in the chat what y'all thinking.
Right thing to women being the downfall. If you just do the right thing, then women, how are they going to be your
There's
downfall?
plenty of guys that got accused of doing stuff that they didn't do and crash
But
out.
that's not this situation. He did it.
My point is do not put yourself in the position to deal with any of these women whatsoever. Just stay away from everybody.
And the
And deal
easiest
with
way to
me?
do what
You
Anton is
can't tell me
saying
what my
is to do the
perspective is.
right thing.
You can't. You listen. You got it.
That's
You
weird.
right.
The easiest way to
You're
do
right.
what you said is to do the right thing. Like we don't support doing the right thing anymore. That's not cool. Like that's not the thing to do.
Who
The
are
right
you to
thing.
say what the right thing is?
Quentin, back up. He's married. Having an affair with a side chick, that's the right thing.
I think.
Let me just say something right here. So they're going down this path here about doing the right thing. And for me, I think the conversation isn't really germane to what's going on. Doing the right thing, okay, yeah, he is married. He shouldn't be cheating on his wife, but he wasn't fired for cheating on his wife. He wasn't arrested and all of that for cheating on his wife. He was fired for having an inappropriate relationship with his subordinate, which is against policy where he works at, and which was written into the contract in which he signed for his employment to obtain this $30 million. Okay. And then as far as like why he went to jail is I'm gonna show y'all why he went to jail. I got a video for that. But it wasn't because of the wife. All of what he is going through is because of decisions that he made. He made these decisions. And for the life of me, and I know Abby said here that he let temptation get the best of him. I understand that. I really do. But I still cannot fathom why he would allow this to happen. And I know people say, well, you don't think it's going to happen to you. We're talking about $30 million. Really? $30 million? If he wanted it that bad, why not have her resign? So basically, y'all, as you probably already know, they had got made aware. The university got made aware of the situation of the inappropriateness, and they had did an initial investigation, and they asked both Sherrone Moore as well as the young lady who worked for him. They were asked a question about this a relationship. They both denied it. And apparently, investigation continued. At some point, they received confirmation of said relationship and he got fired. Okay, there's some speculation around that, which we'll get into that in a minute. So yeah, I'm just bewildered here. Like if you know you're being investigated for something, why would you continue doing said thing that you're being investigated on? Why would you continue doing that? I mean, can somebody help me understand? Y'all real quiet today. Somebody help me understand that. Why would you continue doing so? If you already know you're being investigated, why would you continue doing the thing that you said you're not doing while you're being investigated? Help me understand. Let's keep this going.
I adequately explained the other day that it's on
Come on,
upon some men to take care of these women.
Ignoring reactivity is the same as suppressing it.
Come on, y'all. We too grown to be up here saying, so we don't support people do the right thing. Like that's not a message we're trying to put before people.
Based off of what I'm hearing tonight, let me just go a step further. Don't even get married. No. Since we don't go there, because if he wasn't even married, it wouldn't even make no difference. We wouldn't even be having this conversation now. So now let's just go a step further. Why even put yourself in a position to have to deal with a woman that's going to tell you what the right thing is to do?
Okay, so he just said that men shouldn't get married and that we wouldn't be talking about this if he wasn't married. And that's the thing. Whether he, I mean, so when you look at Ime Udoka, who was engaged to Nia Long, he wasn't married to Nia Long. Um, it was the whole situation was discussed because he lost a bag, basically. So if you're around here knowing what the policies are, and you choose to not follow them, you are going to get fired if they get sufficient documentation of you doing things against that policy, if that makes sense. So it doesn't matter if you're married, single, gay, straight, a monkey, or a cow. It don't matter because you are not following policy. So for him to sit here and say that we wouldn't be talking about this if he wasn't married, I don't understand that. Well, I don't need to understand. It's illogical because this is not, none of this is about the fact that he's being married. It's unfortunate that he's married and his wife is embarrassed in this way. I know that she is. They got like 3 girls or whatever. And you got this husband of yours that lost a $30 million job around here, crashing out, going to somebody's house, entering when he wasn't supposed to, going into the kitchen, getting butter knives, threatening to unalive himself, all those things. Like for somebody you ain't even married to, for something you shouldn't have been doing professionally or morally. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't get the whole, well, if he was married, if he wasn't married, we'd be talking about it. We would be talking about it. Look at Ime Udoka. Look at Shannon Sharp. I mean, Shannon Sharp wasn't the same, but he lost the bag too with dealing with old girl and that 20 and that 50K per cheek situation, right? So let's keep it going. Yeah.
What?
As though any of these women would ever in their lifetime have access to a nigga that was making $30 million a year. You should just be happy to be there.
What are you talking about?
You should be happy to be there if you around a nigga that's making $30 million total. So this is what my new advice is based off of what I'm hearing tonight, because all of this moral shit is really beautiful from people that are privileged, right? Stay out of the mix and don't even put yourself in a position to get married or have children with these women, because you're gonna fuck up a bag by associating yourself. Just stay out of the fucking mix. Unless you're running for president and you gotta be married in order to get to a certain level, just stay out the fucking mix. You can recover on the back end.
But it's plenty of those women.
I told y'all.
All of that from having.
Okay, y'all. So he was saying, I don't know. I can't. I don't get. I mean, if you don't want to get married, don't get married. But at the same time, what would make better sense to me if he would have said is work for yourself and don't work for an employer. Be a entrepreneur. Because to me, what does being married have to do with you not following the policy of your employer? Has nothing to do with that. So if he would have said, okay, well, I recommend that you all be entrepreneurs and work for yourself, I could better understand that type of logic. But to say, well, you shouldn't get married, you shouldn't do this because that'd be your downfall. This man is married, Anton Daniels. He will let you know every chance he get, he'll be married 20 years, sometime in 2026. Okay. So I don't even understand why we talking about that. Now, going back here to the chat, okay, so Abby was saying that he was irate and stalked her at her home because she ratted on him and threw him under the bus. The football coach was irate. So, Abby, I have tried to find some type of documentation to say that she actually ratted him out. I haven't found that. I've heard people say that the wife ratted him out and told his location. I've heard people say that the side chick, the subordinate, had gotten fired, and then she brought all of the proof that was needed. But at the end of the day, if we'll just say, for instance, just hypothetically speaking, if the side chick lady ratted him out because that was going to cost her her job, why would you expect her to forego her career, forego her good name, if you will, and what she's built for herself? Why would one expect that? So if you're making $30 million, why are you expecting someone who's probably making 100,000 to give a damn about you maintaining your situation with the school? Now, yes, I did see where they said that as her boss, he helped her get a promotion. Yeah, because she's with him, in my opinion, for the perks. He's helping her, make more money, stuff like that. But what I will say to you here is when he was made aware, when they both were made aware that they were both being investigated for an inappropriate relationship, why didn't he just tell her, you know what? And just go ahead and resign. I'll cover you financially until you find a job somewhere else. Why didn't he just say that when they were both being looked at for this situation? I'm just saying. What we got here? I'm just saying, he making almost $30 million a year. And you like this lady. Okay? She making probably 75K, 100K. I don't know what you make as a staffer for a college team. But you like her to end the situation with the investigation. Okay, just tell the people that your mama's sick, your daddy's sick, whatever. You got to leave. Take a leave of absence, resign, whatever, and I'll float you. Go work somewhere else, and then you ain't got to worry about all this. Why not have taken that approach? But from my understanding is that they were investigated. They both said, "Oh no, we don't have anything going on." But people that's in the area were saying that it was widely known that they had something going on. Yeah. Now you making this kind of money, and this girl living in an apartment complex where you ain't even got no secured fencing and stuff around it. You can just walk up to it. Is what they showed on the screen. Let me see what we got here. Yeah, he was irate and sought her at her home. Well, I don't know I still don't know if he ratted her, if she ratted him. I don't know about that. Um, I can understand being irate because you lost $30 million. I can understand that. My understanding was that he went to home to his wife and told her about losing the job. And then he went from being at home to then going to this woman's house. Um, trying to, I guess do whatever, I guess get some type of reaction out of her. I don't know what you want to call that. So the lady, she still works there. The side chick lady does. Okay. Yeah, because what I've heard a couple things. I did hear, and that's why I was saying I was trying to find something more concrete because I heard someone say and report that okay, that the the people above Sherrone told him either to fire her or to move her somewhere else in the program to where she didn't work for him. That's what someone had put out there, right? And honestly, as a person who's been in management for over a decade, that doesn't make sense to me from an HR perspective. If you are the supervisor and you are um included in this investigation, then why would they give you the power to move her somewhere else or to fire her? You know what I'm saying? That didn't make sense to me. So I really haven't seen anything substantiating that, at least not to my satisfaction. But yeah, and then she still works there. I mean, okay, because what's going to end up potentially happening here is okay, you got an investigation going on here, and if she would have got fired, she would have had grounds to probably sue the institution regarding why was she fired and not him if they allowed him to stay. You know what I'm saying? So the institution has to also their responsibility, if you will, to ensure that they are going about this the right way because she can have a case against them. whether it's discrimination, whether it's civil, however way she want to flip it. You know what I'm saying? So from what I did understand is that apparently Sherrone ordered a DoorDash of a Plan B, and that the person who delivered it provided some type of information to the university. I'm not sure how true that is. I'm really not sure if that is what drove the initial investigation. But yeah, but there is another investigation that is still ongoing. So what I want to do now is I want to show you guys the arraignment thing real quite fast so that we can kind of see, they can tell you direct what was done. Let's get into it.
To the arraignment of Sherrone Moore.
Cooperated in some form of investigation there. As we all now know, defendant was at some point on Wednesday afternoon fired from his employment. He then, at some point soon thereafter, came to her apartment in the address that is alleged in the complaint, barged his way into that apartment, immediately then proceeded to a kitchen drawer, grabbed several butter knives and a pair of kitchen scissors, and began to threaten his own life. I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to make you watch. My blood is on your hands. You ruined my life. And a series of very, very threatening, intimidating, terrifying, quite frankly, statements and behaviors there in that apartment. It was only then, Your Honor, when the victim, she called her attorney and then at some point indicated she was going to call the police, and then he left. And so, Your Honor, while I understand that there isn't evidence to suggest that he directly threatened the victim with any of those implements that I've indicated, the totality of the behavior is highly threatening and highly intimidating. She was terrorized, Your Honor. And in light of the totality of all of those circumstances, we consider the defendant to be a risk to public safety, a risk to this victim, and it is for those reasons that we are asking for those specific conditions. I am more than happy to answer any other questions that the court may have or give you further information, and I appreciate the opportunity.
So y'all heard that. So, I mean, I could, based on what was described here, I could see why one would assume, okay, she must have ratted him out because, you know, he said that she ruined his life, all those things. Okay, so I can see why one would go there. I would love to know from a credible source exactly what was the trigger for the university to really go ahead and fire this man. Did she actually provide any type of documentation to support, you know, this inappropriate relationship? Like what was it? I know people are saying, oh, well, people knew about it. All the neighbors that are in her apartment complex, when they were asked about, have they seen this man here? None of them would respond from what I saw on the news situation. But yeah, at the end of the day, sir, I mean, why would you put yourself in this situation? I just don't get it. You making $30 million. I understand you told me, Abby, that he let, you know, temptation get him. I ain't never been tempted. I have never been temptation enough to lose no $30 million. I'm not gonna lose $1,000 on no temptation, honey. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Okay, I'm telling you, and I make more than $1,000. I'm not losing the bag of my job on nothing like that. I'm just saying, if he likes her like that, he should have had her resign or have her go work somewhere else and do what he need to do. I'm not promoting anybody cheating on their spouse, but that's what you should have did, sir. Instead of allowing something to go on. This is what I'm gonna tell y'all. I think, from my perspective, I think a lot of times when people get in these positions of quote unquote power and they're making all this money, okay, they start to believe that they are all powerful, omnipotent, okay, that they don't have to follow the rules of things, right? That's what I'm thinking is happening here, because if they are saying that in this community that they were just kind of out with it, like, why, if it's true that he door dashed a plan B to the job, I mean, help me understand why. Why? You know you're not buying that for your wife. You know what I'm saying? Why would you not? That means you around here having unprotected situations going on, and you got a wife and 3 girls. Okay, but like I said, it's really not about, for me. It's, I mean, a lot of folks talk about the race of the wife, the race of the side chick. They talk about that. I don't care about that, because at the end of the day, what we talking about here is a man that got fired for cause. Okay. And the reason why they made sure to say for cause, because they don't have to pay him anything else when it's for cause. If it was not for cause, then they would have had to pay him, some different things as said in the contract. So they made sure when they got rid of him that it was conveniently done, in my opinion, to where they got the biggest bang for the buck, and they don't owe this man nothing. They're getting ready to go to a bowl game. I want to say it's Michigan versus is it Texas? Don't get me the line. But they getting ready to go to a bowl game, and he ain't gonna get that bonus, if you will, to my understanding for that. But yeah, I think this man became blinded by the position and the money and thought that he was invincible and was thinking with the wrong head. Okay. Because let me tell you, with $30 million, he could have set her over there somewhere and not lost the bag. Okay, he could have did that. This girl's still trying to work. Okay, let me tell y'all something. And how do I phrase this? Let me just phrase it the only way I know how, direct. Men need to understand that you got the internet now. You got the YouTube. You got these young girls that y'all dealing with. They not the same mindset of the young girls from 20, 30 years ago. Okay, these women is about that money. They on that city girl type of vibe. You see what I'm saying? They on that city girl vibe. Okay, this girl was with this man. She got that promotion, and she's not gonna let nobody threaten her job. Now, if what Abby is saying is correct, she's still working. She not, her bag ain't is not messed up. Now, what I would tell you, her reputation is. She's gonna have a hard time, in my opinion, finding a job in another program at another school, because you're now known for sleeping with the head coach. So now people are gonna be questioning, why is she here? Is she only here because she was messing with the head coach? Is she really credible? Does she have any skills? Because I mean, to me, I would think being a woman working at a football program, to me, that's kind of rare, I would think. Let me see what Abby's saying. Michigan is playing in the Citrus Bowl in Orlando, Florida on December 31st, New Year's Eve. Okay, that's where they're going. They going to a bowl game. They got rid of this man right before the bowl game. Okay. Then we got and Dragon said word. Thank you. Welcome to the live stream. Please support the channel by sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Okay. Help a sister out. It is free. Y'all got me on this warpath here. But yeah, this man, he became blinded by what he thought was, he thought he was invincible, in my opinion. And then when that institution, because everybody got a boss, I would say 99%. There's somebody above in the chain of command. Okay, I'm gonna say 99%. Jeff Bezos may not have a boss. I don't know about him. So we're gonna say Elon Musk may not have a boss. We're gonna say 99% of folks got a boss. Okay. So yeah. So to sit here thinking that that you're indispensable and that well, invincible is the word, is insane to me. And let me tell you, as a person that is in a leadership position and you making that kind of money or even less than that, you in a leadership position and you are of color. I hate to say it now, I can only speak for me because I've only been this color my whole life. Okay, but let me tell you, I feel like there's some things that that other people were able to do and get away with, but if I had even remotely tried that, I would have got that. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be above reproach because you got that lens on you. You know what I'm saying? So, to my understanding, Michigan has a really good football program, one of the best in the nation, and that was one of the premier football coaching jobs. And they gave it to this man, 39 years old. I think he was before that the offensive line coach or whatever. Got this job. I'm sure you got haters out there. Like, why this young man get this job? He ain't got no experience. Da 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 da. So you got people looking for you every day. I'm here to tell you, I don't even make no 32 million. And with what I make, I got folks looking at me and what I'm doing. Baby, all the time. Yes, all the time they looking at you, trying to figure out what they can do to trip you up. But I ain't gonna talk about me today. But if you want to, we can do that on another situation. Now what we got here? We got Abby saying facts. You got to be perfect in those situations, no flaws whatsoever. Abby, you said a word there. Let me figure out how to put that on the screen here. You right. You are absolutely right. Okay, you are right. Let me make sure y'all can see me. You are right, Abby. You have to be absolutely perfect. Let me go back to my regular screen here. Let me do that. 'Cause I gotta talk about that. You're right, Abby. You have got to be perfect. Um, Let me go back here. You gotta be. And it's unfortunate. A lot of times people say stuff like, we gotta be 10 times better. Da da da. I'm telling you, it's a fact. I've been working for over 20 years. And so for anybody who new to the job game, it's the truth. Because there are certain things that you just cannot get away with. You have got to be on top of your game because you got people coming for you. They are looking to pull you down off your perch every day. And for this man to know this, because that's part of the Bible verses of growing up in a black household, that you got to be 10 times better. You got to do this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? You already know you got to come in on your A game. You cannot sit here and operate like he was operating, knowing you got that much at stake. And then you got men talking about, well, the side chick should have supported him and not said nothing. They should have kept that to the side. What you mean? At the end of the day, you making $30 million a year, she making maybe six figures, okay? And you think that she gonna prioritize you over her own livelihood? No, sir. If he was really spending that money on her, she would have been in a home that was not unsecured with people just walking in and out. She wouldn't be in there like that. He wouldn't spend that money on her. Okay. Let me see what we got here. We got another word from Abby here, honey. Abby says you are a major target, and he obviously wasn't thinking along those lines. Clearly, he wasn't. He was not. You right, Abby. He wasn't thinking like that. That's what I'm saying. He thought he was invincible. How do you think that? How? You the head coach. You still got folks who above you, sir. And I think it's so unfortunate for him to have lost this money. I know I keep talking about this money. $30 million is a lot of money, y'all. I'm just saying. I'm just perplexed at how he did that. But I don't know, y'all. But let me show y'all the next thing where they how opposing the opposing attorney, what they had to say. Let me show y'all that. He said, shaking my head. I'm telling you, I'm not trying to, I don't want to down this person. I understand that he got a lot of people in this and they calling him all kind of things. But it's just like, I just don't understand. I don't care if a person want to be with somebody that's whatever race. You'll never hear me give a care about that because I don't. I feel like you need to date who you want to date who work for you, whatever that is. Whether they white, black, Asian, Hispanic, I don't care. Man, woman, whatever work for you, do that. Okay? I'm just saying. But it's just like I just hate when I see, these men, because I see mostly men in these situations where they are being taken to the cleaners. But at the same time, you can't allow yourself to be put in these positions to be taken to the cleaners. Shannon Sharp. Now I love me some old Shay Shay now. Yeah, I do. I just could not believe what he had going on with that love with Gabby, that 19, 20-year-old girl. And like I was saying before and got sidetracked, what I need the men to understand, or people, I need everybody to understand that these young girls, they not as dumb as folks want them to be. They're not. Okay, and I'm not saying that he got with that. I'm not saying these men are getting with these women because they're young and because they dumb. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that you're dealing with some entrepreneurial city girls. Okay, they get into the bags. They can go buy some Chanel bags. Okay, that's what they doing, y'all. So when you sitting up here, he up here was talking to Gabby. Shannon Sharp was talking about playing that role playing of the slave situation. Look, and yeah, she recorded you, sir. People record these days. This ain't back in the day where you can do what you do and ain't nothing recorded. This is not that. It is not. So it's like you got to be smarter than these people. You got to be thinking about what's going on in today's situation, in today's time. Protect yourself. Don't sit up here and be saying nothing you don't want to be repeated. Don't do that. Oh yeah, Abby said don't forget to like and subscribe. But yes, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Help a sister out. Yes. Yes, thank you. I need that. I be forgetting all that sometimes. Yes, please do that. But yes, y'all, I'm just saying, like, yo, um, with these men today, getting with these younger women, they have got to understand that these young girls, they playing for keeps. They trying to keep part of your estate, sir. I'm gonna just tell you what's real, because at this point, I guess somebody to come on the internet and say it, because I don't understand how we can see what happened with Shannon Shaw and whoever else, and we ain't came to this conclusion. So I get it that a lot of people say, well, older women, they're jaded, and they may be. Some older men are jaded too. I mean, yes. I said, but you can't sit up here and deal with these folks and think they not, trying to come for your money. I would not advise that. I would not. If you are thinking that this young woman um is gonna if you think this young woman is just around because she like you, think again, sir. She with you because of what you can do for her, what you offering, and when you can no longer provide that, she gonna be out the door. Look at Miss what's her name, Miss the young lady that was the mistress to Wendy Williams' ex-husband. I think her name was like Sherrone or something like that. Let me tell you, that girl was forever the side chick to that man for many, many years, according to what the investigators found, right? He had ended up buying her a house within 10 minutes of the house he had with Wendy Williams. Remember that? This girl ended up getting pregnant. Okay. And so when that news station had released what they had found regarding Wendy Williams' husband at the time, to me, I feel like that helped put Wendy over the edge. That lady ain't been right since all that became public. Okay. But that man went and bought that lady a house, um, not too far from his house with Wendy. And then he was out with her publicly. I think Wendy may have known what was going on, but she was just blind to it, because you know what? As long as it wasn't something that was public, she was just going to deal with it privately, but it became public. But I say all that to say is that when she divorced her husband, and when he didn't have access to that money, and he was up here, trying to get alimony, all these different things, right? And when that money dried up, that girl was gone. See what I'm saying? That girl was gone. When the money was gone, she was out. So if you didn't understand that process, let me tell you, money, she here. Money gone, she out the door with your baby that you had with her. And guess what? He around here, you know, he around here now trying to figure out how to get back into Wendy's bank account, honey. It ain't happening. Let me get back to these comments real fast. So we got okay. Caprello says, hold on. Caprello says, hey baby, how you doing, Caprello? Welcome to the live stream. Thank you for being here. And then we have Abby saying facts. Caprello says, if the dumb good, I'ma stay. Caprello says, women have an hourglass, men deserve 3 wives, at least 2. Caprello, I mean, if that's what they want, I mean, you know, if you can afford 3 wives or 2 wives, then okay. I mean, I'm not gonna be with a man that got multiple wives, but you know, I'm not gonna sit here and criticize somebody else's choice of their culture. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I hear what you're saying here. So Abby said he was sipping heavy to the side chick. Money comes and money goes for some. And that money that Mr. Sherrone had is gone. The access that Wendy Williams' husband had to her money is gone. And this is the thing when it comes to this Sherrone man. Had he not went over the edge and, you know, went to her home and crashed out like that, he may have had an opportunity to recover and maybe get another job similar, but it won't be at that level, right? But I feel like with this whole situation, him going into his woman's house, crashing out, I don't know if he's gonna ever get back to that. But let me go back here and show you guys what I want to show y'all when it came to this arraignment. Let's get into
So let's
it.
listen in to the arraignment of Sherrone Moore.
Cooperated in some form of investigation there. As we all now know, defendant was at some point on Wednesday afternoon fired from his employment. He then, at some point soon thereafter, came to her apartment in the address that is alleged in the complaint, barged his way into that apartment, immediately then proceeded to a kitchen drawer, grabbed several butter knives and a pair of kitchen scissors, and began to threaten his own life. I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to make you watch. My blood is on your hands. You ruined my life. And a series of very, very threatening, intimidating, terrifying, quite frankly, statements and behaviors there in that apartment. It was only then, Your Honor, when the victim, she called her attorney and then at some point indicated she was going to call the police, and then he left. And so, Your Honor, while I understand that there isn't evidence to suggest that he directly threatened the victim with any of those implements that I've indicated, the totality of the behavior is highly threatening and highly intimidating. She was terrorized, Your Honor. And in light of the totality of all of those circumstances, we consider the defendant to be a risk to public safety, a risk to this victim, and it is for those reasons that we are asking for those specific conditions. I am more than happy to answer any other questions that the court may have or give you further information, and I appreciate the opportunity.
So y'all, I mean, she stated it nicely, you know. I would be concerned about, okay, he was released to my understanding, and it's like he's released and then he gonna be released to go back home to his wife and them kids. Like, I would be terrified of him being at my home. This man that lost this 30 million. I'm like, I mean, I just don't know, y'all. I mean, I really believe that he just had a mental breakdown for my terms, you know, losing his $30 million. I think I had one for him. And I understand that when he went to that woman's house, she was terrified. She said terrorized. That girl was terrified as well. Because he went and got that butter knife. What he doing with this? You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, what y'all saying here in the chat? Abby says 100. Thank you. Bende Ho. Oh Lord, why you got that name? Let me stop. He said sheesh. Welcome to the live stream. I'm gonna just call you Bendy, okay? He said he literally ruined his life. He really did. I'm gonna agree with you on that. Then Abby says, look at him. He looks terrified. Shake my head. Looks like he got mental health issues. I mean, yes. I mean, when I see this man sitting in that chair and I saw him like doing his head coach situation, I was like, he looked totally different. But when you lose $32 million over something like this, I can see why he's sitting there looking like that. That man never had any type of run in with the law or none of that, y'all. And now he got that. And that's part of why they allow him to leave. But I mean, I just don't know. Let's go on to part 2 here.
Conference at this time for January 8th due to the holidays and scheduling. Is that a good court date for you?
Your Honor, my client will waive his right to have that next court appearance within 14 days. I've discussed that with him. I also try to coordinate calendars with Ms. Rasmirski. In support of that, I think we're both available on January 22nd, if the court would order that. And I'll add one more thing for the record in support of that. I understand there is continuing investigation. So in addition to the discovery I don't yet have, there may be even more. So
it will be January 26th, 2020.
22nd, 15, 22nd, 29th.
January 22nd, then. January 22nd, 2026, 9 a.m., 14A1 District Court, Courtroom C. That will be in person. Sir, do not violate these bond conditions. Follow all orders of the court. Stay in contact with your lawyer. That concludes this hearing.
Thank you very much.
We've been watching the arraignment of ex-Michigan head football coach Sherrone Moore, now charged with felony home invasion and 3 misdemeanors related to his arrest. A judge determining that he is not a flight risk nor a danger to the community should he follow the conditions that were set out as part of his release. Bond is set for him at $25,000. The prosecution argued that hours after he was fired, Moore barged into the victim's home, went into her kitchen drawer, grabbed knives and scissors, and then threatened his own life, allegedly saying, "You ruined my life. My blood is on your hands." Apparently, at that point, the victim called police and Moore left. The totality of the behavior, prosecutors argued, is highly threatening. The judge there siding with the defense that made the case that there is no evidence that he's a threat to public safety. We have Whitney Wild with us, who's been tracking the details of this case, as well as former state attorney for Palm Beach County, Dave Ehrenberg. We'll get the legal perspective in just.
So I guess they're saying since he didn't necessarily threaten her, that he's not a threat to society at large. But I'm just like, I would be concerned, like, he gonna come back to my house, to my home, if I was his wife. I would be terrified. I did see a picture of them out, I want to say a couple days ago, and she looked very tired. I will say that. But let's keep it going, see what these folks got to say.
Just a moment, Dave, but Whitney, your takeaways from this arraignment.
This is the first real detail we have about any of this that occurred 48 hours ago, Boris. Again, we just dipped into it, but again, I'll just catch our viewers up to speed. As you said, it certainly sounds like this was Sherrone Moore's reaction to having been fired hours after he was fired. And we know that it was because he had an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. He barged into a victim's home. Again, he was, according to the prosecutors, his behavior was highly threatening. It was highly intimidating. He told the victim, "You're ruining my life," indicated that he said something to the effect of, "I'm going to kill myself." After the victim called her attorney and then indicated that she would call police, according to the prosecutor, he then left. What the prosecutor was saying to the judge in trying to get the most stringent bond restrictions possible here is that the totality of the behavior is highly threatening, highly intimidating. And the word that the prosecutor used was, "She was terrorized." The prosecutors did consider the defendant a risk to public safety. And so, again, they were asking for specific conditions here. The defense arguing that he has a family here, he has a home here, he has no criminal record, no contact with law enforcement, no contact with the criminal justice system. And so really this is a specific incident, poses no further risk to the community. And the judge laying out very specifically the conditions of the bond: no contact with the victim. Even if the victim attempts to contact Sherrone Moore, he is not to respond. He is now going to be placed on a GPS monitor. As you said, $25,000 bond. His next court appearance is January 22nd. We will see if more court records come out. We have requested 911 calls. We've requested a more detailed police.
Yeah, like I said, he came up in there, rummaged through her kitchen and everything like that. And then she calling her lawyer first. Now that tell you right there the fact that she got a lawyer. How many people around here just got a lawyer already retained? Who just had it? Now I'm sure she had a lawyer since they had this investigation going, and so she wanted to get some lawyering probably to help protect her and her job and stuff like that. I'ma assume, but who just has a lawyer that they gonna call? Like I said here in this chat, if I was in that situation, and I don't tend to try to say what I would do, but what I'm gonna tell you, if I'm in a situation where I feel threatened and terrified, I'm trying to get up out of that space. I'm trying to call the police. Okay, you're gonna see me outside in the neighborhood running like Forrest Gump did in that movie, honey. Like Miss Tina Turner running about that hotel when she could from Ike. You're not gonna see me calling my lawyer. No, you're gonna see me calling the police. Okay, so that may have also the fact that she called her lawyer first and then the police, that may have also contributed to why they felt, well, maybe he really isn't a threat to society per se. I mean, 25K bond, GPS on you, talk to your lawyer. Okay, that's all they got. You know what I'm saying? Abby, that's a good point. Oh yeah, I'm trying to tell you, let somebody do that to me. You gonna know. Everybody in that neighborhood gonna know. Okay, I'm gonna be like Tina Turner, honey, breaking free. Okay, yeah. You and then the fact that you even had your phone, because if he was really trying to get at you, which from what described, it was more about him and himself being harmed, if you will. You're not gonna have access to your phone. He gonna make sure you don't have your phone. They gonna try to put that phone on the floor. You ain't gonna have this phone. Type of deal. But let's keep this going.
That may give an even more detailed narrative about what happened. But so far, Boris, these are answers that I think everybody has been waiting for over the last 2 days once news broke that Sherrone Moore was fired and that he was later arrested. Boris?
Yeah, really a stunning turnaround if these allegations turn out to be true. Whitney, please stand by. Let's go to Dave Ehrenberg. Dave, what is your reaction to hearing this? Obviously, outside of the fact that he had such a high-profile job and that so many our producers are telling me that his attorneys are coming out and speaking to reporters. Let's listen in.
I'm just going to not answer that question, but he'll be in the community.
Tell us about this. What's the mood of your client right now?
Listen, that is something that I will also not comment on, but I will say you heard that there was a condition of bond for him to have mental health counseling, and we expect that too. Okay?
Do you have any comment on the allegations?
None. And I said in court, I've not seen a police report. I've not seen any other discovery. It would be irresponsible to comment, so I won't.
How's he doing mentally? Is he saying anything?
Yeah, so I'm, again, not going to comment on that. Thank you very much, but I do need to get through you guys. Thank you.
Joe Simon there, the defense attorney for Sherrone Moore, choosing not to comment on a number of questions, specifically about the well-being of his client, saying that he won't dig into the details, but as part of his release, the condition is that he will continue with mental health counseling, notable given some of the allegations about suicidal remarks.
So it's interesting how they're saying he needs to have counseling and therapy and things like that. Yeah, I wonder when he got released from his job, like, how was that done? You know what I'm saying? Like, how did they orchestrate that? You know what I'm saying? And why do I say that? I will tell you why I say that. So when I have had problematic employees, the HR people will give me like tips of the trade. Like, okay, well, don't give, the news on, say, this type of on this day or at this time, because you don't want that employee to, they would just be okay. And this may be wrong. But they may say, well, don't provide them this information on like a Friday, or or provide it on a Friday. See, they have the weekend to cool off, or they may say, well, you need to make sure you have someone else in the room for my safety, right? So it's like when you're providing someone this kind of news, whether it's like a disciplinary action, a termination, like when I've done a termination, I had someone else in the room with me when I issued it to this person, right? Um, So you don't just it's usually a thought out process when you do this. You don't just say, hey, we're thinking of letting you go. Even with an investigation, you have someone else, when say you're gonna investigate somebody, you may have someone else in the room with you when you relay that information to this person. There's just certain things that you do when you're doing these type of interactions, right? So I just kind of wonder, um, how did they execute that when they told this man he was about to lose his $32 million? Like, how did you do that? So I'll be interested to see if they ever reveal, like, did they just send him over the phone? Did they bring him into the office? Like, what did they do? I'll be interested in hearing that, because I feel like, you know, did they not consider like this person? I mean, I don't know. Like, they could have told him this and had a counselor there to talk to him. I mean, something. I mean, we talking $32 million. Okay, what we got here? Okay, we got Smooth. Well, he said, "Oh, hey, Smooth." He said, "Hello to much peace and prosperity." Hey, welcome to the live stream. Yes, glad you enjoyed San Antonio. Right now we're talking about this Sherrone Moore situation. I know that they probably tired of me going on about it, but I got a lot to say. So yes, join in on the situation. Um the next thing I want to show y'all is this breakdown from this lawyer. Let's get into that.
David, just stepping back, as I was saying a moment ago, remove from the equation the fact that this is a high-profile individual whose firing was obviously newsworthy. Do you think that the stipulations set forward by the judge, this $25,000 bond, as well as these conditions, are appropriate for the charges that he's facing?
I do, Boris. It's pretty normal. These are serious charges. One of them is a felony, but he's a first-time offender. He is really not much of a flight risk. I mean, he's pretty well known. He has ties to the community. He's more of a threat to himself than to others. And so I do think that the bond conditions are appropriate. We need to make sure he is nowhere near the victim, does not try to communicate with her. And if he does, he'll be locked up immediately pending trial. My biggest takeaway was learning that when he got the knife, he did not use it to threaten the victim. He used it to threaten himself. That's why you don't see more serious charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon or more aggravated home invasion charge. This is just third-degree home invasion, which is, even though it's serious, it's the lowest level felony. And it could be punishable up to 5 years in prison, but he is a first-time offender, so he would likely get nowhere near that.
What do you imagine the defense is going to argue on his behalf? Do you think it's likely that perhaps they come to some arrangement with prosecutors and this thing never goes to trial?
Yeah, very possibly. First-time offender, someone who has mental health issues, someone who threatened himself, not another person. That's key. And I think that if the victim agrees, that you could see a plea deal where he has probation and mental health treatment and ends up serving no time in jail or prison. I think that's actually a possibility. So we'll see how it plays out. But right now, he's a subject of worldwide ridicule, humiliation, which is punishment in itself. But ultimately, I think the victim's wishes will be important here because she's the one who allegedly has been stalked and has been perhaps threatened in the past. And she needs to tell the prosecutors which way to go on this.
To that point, the school has been investigating this alleged inappropriate relationship, or what they say is a confirmed inappropriate relationship, since October. and its investigation into the handling of this relationship is currently being done by an outside law firm. In other words, it's still possible that more details may come forward related to this relationship and his firing. Do you see that as potentially impacting this case in the form of new charges, perhaps?
I think where it's impactful, Boris, is in a potential civil lawsuit against the University of Michigan. Wow. How long do they know about these issues? According to reports, they were notified back in September that this affair had happened, and they allegedly slow walked it. They waited to fire him until after the commitment date was over, the national letter of intent date where high school students commit to the University of Michigan. And so were they waiting until the season was over, until they found out if he would beat Ohio State in football? Because if it's true that they knew about this months in advance, and if they knew he had severe mental health issues and then fired him as soon as the national commitment day was over and just fired him without counselors there, just let him out into the wilderness, then they could really be hit with some serious lawsuits.
Yeah, it would be significant, also considering some of the scandals that Michigan football has faced in recent years, some of them involving Sherrone Moore. We have to leave the conversation there. Dave Ehrenberg and Whitney Wild, thank you both so much. We'll, of course, stay on top of this and bring you any new developments as we get them.
So, y'all heard how the man said that they're speculating as to whether or not the university waited to fire him until after the football season was over with, after the commitment day and all of that. Now, that's interesting. I'm here to tell you, if they even if that outside law firm that's researching the actions of the university, if they uncover that, oh girl, about to really get paid, because you knew this person, you knew what was going on, and you waited to get this taken care of. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, she about to get paid, y'all. You know, I don't know what to say on that one, because they were saying that there's an outside law firm also investigating this. They're investigating to determine how well or how the university handled this whole process. Okay, so there may be. They were asking, would there be any additional charges? I don't think so, because the way that I mean, it like he said, there may be a civil lawsuit against the university. I understand and agree with that. As far as more charges against him, I don't see that, because they're investigating the process of what the university did to address the situation. You know what I'm saying? Him cheating on his wife, him having this inappropriate relationship, that's not illegal per se. It's not a crime per se. He's in jail because of the breaking and entering and all the other stuff he was doing. That's why he was sitting in jail. So yes, that's crazy, y'all. What we got here? So Abby saying he will never get a head coaching job ever again. Shaking my head. I agree. I don't think he will either. I don't know how he's gonna I don't know how he's going to, overcome this per se, because he's probably gonna they're gonna probably really rely on the fact that for his case that he has mental health issues. So kind of like what happened with Diddy, where they were saying, well, he's just, really has anger issues, and it worked in his favor to get him off on certain charges. But when it came to like releasing him and all that kind of stuff, it didn't work for him, like that kind of thing. So they may get off on saying, oh, he has mental health issues, but then he may not be able to get another job because of those said quote unquote mental health issues. So it just depends on what's the lesser of the two evils, right? And then Abby said, it wouldn't surprise me if you get a divorce down the road. Oh yeah, I won't be surprised either. Because with this whole for one, it's embarrassing that your husband's doing all of this. Number one. You've been married 10 years, got 3 kids, and you got all this going on, and this man crashing out, saying the woman, destroyed his life. You destroyed your own life, sir, because you could have chose to not engage with this woman. Like, there needs to be some accountability that he needs to take on his actions, because you, sir, are the one making $32 million. You are. So for me, I understand and hear the moment you mad, but be mad at yourself. Okay? Don't harm yourself, but understand that this is what you created. This is your situation that you created. And what I would like to say and get back to now, and I done showed y'all, I want to show y'all. What I want to get to unpack here is, why do we have these influential men making all this money, making these kind of mistakes? Why, Focon? Why? Why? This man told me years ago, old fools used to be young fools. Okay, I understand. But I really don't get why I'm seeing this pattern here of these men that are making all this money and giving it away. Just giving it away. I don't get it. I don't that kind of money doesn't just come around every day. Even with Shannon Sharp, it's being, stated, not officially, that he probably had to pay Gabby about 20 million, something like that. Don't you know that's about the amount of money he made in his NFL career, was around 20 million? So when you look at it from that perspective, like, you have had this magnificent NFL career, and all the money that you've pretty much made from it, you have given it to this young lady here. She just made a come up and retired from OnlyFans, by the way. She announced that thereafter. But yeah, like, like when I go back to Anton talking about, well, you shouldn't get married, da da da. I'm like, no, what you shouldn't do is violate the policy of your job and violate your marriage vows. You shouldn't do that. That's my take on point. And I feel like these men need to understand, they need to stop underestimating these women when it comes to getting to the money. Yeah, don't underestimate them. I'm telling you, I'm a woman. I'm telling you, don't let them underestimate you. Don't underestimate the woman. Okay, don't do it. Don't do it. Mm-mm. I want people to be successful and have their money. I really do. I don't want to see somebody work hard for their career just to get their money away. If you're gonna give it away, give it to me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah, so what we got here? Bendy says he will probably mess up again. Yeah, because unfortunately people don't learn. I believe in learning from others' mistakes. So one thing I try to do is, if I'm seeing what somebody else did wrong, I'm trying to make sure I don't make that mistake. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So let this be a cautionary tale. You got Ime Uduka. He ended up okay. I mean, he ended up, working somewhere else. He lost Nia Long. But that was part for the course, right? Shannon Sharp, he lost a bag. He was talking on his platform about how when he went through his situation, which wasn't the same, but somewhat similar in his mind, that a lot of the people that would contact him stopped contacting him. Yeah. So, and that really, it was like close friends and family that really, stood in the gap for him. And so yeah, like when you up, everybody want to be around you. When you up, when you doing good, when you that guy, when you that dude, everybody want to be around you. Everybody kind of need to see how you doing. That's how the life works. But when you down, they gone. And the people that you see around you when you down, those are the people that got your back. Okay? And for me, I don't have a big circle. I keep my circle small for that reason. So I'm not one that got all these friends. I got all these friends. No, ma'am. Because a lot of folks, they just here for the good time. They're not here for when you really need somebody there. Okay? So yeah. Most people I'm friends with, they know I'm down like 4 flat tires with them. If they need me, I'm coming. Mhm. You don't need to have no big entourage. And stop telling all your business too. Yeah, stop telling all your business to some of these folks. Everybody, there are people out here that are just around because they want to see firsthand what you got going on, what you're doing, that kind of thing. They want to have inside track to what, to what you have going on when it's not so good. You know what I'm saying? Like, this lady, I watched this other lady's video and she was just saying how this lady called her out the blue and was asking her, well, how are you doing? Is your marriage okay? This lady talks a lot about marriage and parenting and mothering on her page. And so this lady who she ain't even talked to in years decided to ask her about her marriage, just the state of her marriage. And so she knew then, like, no, I'm not finna be dealing with you. She blocked her on all platforms. I'm like, yeah, because if I don't talk to you and I haven't indicated that I have a marriage problem, why would you contact me out the blue asking me that? Why for come? What we got here? So Cal says hi. Hi, Cal. How you doing? I know you're asking me about you gonna ask me about that doggone train video in the hat. I am trying to get that edited. Okay, so I'm hoping I'm gonna try to have it out by Sunday. I got the footage, but I gotta figure out. I'm probably gonna do like a voiceover on it and then put some music to it and give you a shout out. And I'm gonna also include all these clips of you asking me about this hat in this video. I gotta find those too. So I have a vision in mind. So that's what I'm working on. Yes. So that's what I'm doing. So Cal said, how are you doing? I'm doing good, Cal. I cannot believe that the holidays are going to be here next week. And you know what? I really just need a break. I went out of town this past week and I came back sick, y'all. I was sick while I was out of town. I did absolutely nothing but get there and I was in the bed the whole time. I'm just now, I felt good enough to go to work, taking my Sudafed, whatever. But yeah, so I told my dad, I said, I was going to try to make it home for Christmas. I said, with them being older in their 80s, I don't want to be around them when I'm not 100% with my health. You know what I'm saying? I need to make sure I'm not sick when I'm around them. So I told them I'm going to probably head out that way probably early January. I'm going to just take my time and get myself together and then go see them when I know that I'm well. Like during the pandemic, I was in Texas then and I would not get on the plane. I drove from Texas to Alabama so I wouldn't risk being around other people that could have got me sick, with that COVID. I said, no, I'm going to just minimize my exposure, drive, get gas, and then make it to the house. Because I live by myself, so I know I'm not, being subjected to that at the time, right? But yeah. So what we got here? So Abby says, same here, small circle as well. They're just opportunists, clout chasers. Exactly. And where did you go? I ended up going to San Antonio for a retirement. And then I turned around and went to Colorado out to Denver. So I it was a jam-packed weekend. Then I had to get back to work on some things for the job, and they got on my nerves, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah. Lots of opportunists and cloud chasers out there. That's a fact. And so the sooner as people realize that, the better off they will be. I'm telling you. Like you have people that, if I'll just say, I'll say it this way. Like there are people that are only gonna befriend you because of what they think that what you can do for them. And when you don't do for them what they want you to do for them, then they gone. They mad at you. You did something. So you got those kind of people. So when the Lord shows me those kind of people, I'm good. We ain't gotta be here. Yep. We ain't gotta be there. We ain't gotta be there. Mm-mm. He says, what's Denver like? Never been there. Denver wasn't, well, first of all, I didn't get out much because I was sick, but I've been there before. It's nice. What was so sad for me is that it was actually pretty good weather. It wasn't cold like that. It was colder in DC than it was in Denver. So I've just been to Denver like to see family and stuff. been to some of the restaurants, stuff like that. But a lot of people fly to Denver and they go like to Vail and Breckenridge, those ski resorts. I have not been to a ski resort there, but it's pretty cool. They got good restaurants, stuff like that. Now, honestly, Abby, for me, I can go pretty much anywhere and I'm gonna figure out how to have me a good time. I am from a small town in Alabama, so I am elated. Although I haven't lived there in over 20 years, I'm elated to go places that got things to do. I'm gonna find me something to do. So when people talk about DC and how they don't got nothing to do in DC, they just don't know how to they don't know how to entertain themselves. There's always things to do here. And I don't live a lit lifestyle per se. Like I'm not in the club. I'm not doing hookah. That's not me. And I'm not saying it's anything wrong for those that do it. I just don't. Maybe when I was in my 20s, I might have been like into the club a little bit, but no, I'm not trying to stand up in those stilettos. I'm into a lounge where I can listen to some music and have me a nice drink and a nice meal. I like speakeasies, rooftops, things like that. They got all that here in DC. Now, yeah, it does get cold, but I know how to dress for the cold too. So, and actually, it hasn't been as cold as I thought it would be. It is raining. Like it started raining this evening, and it snowed here this past Sunday, which I was surprised. I missed all that, which was fine, because I make sure I keep things in the fridge so that when it does snow, I'm not going outside. But anything other than that, I got me a nice wool coat, warming wear, and I'm gonna just step out and enjoy. That's what I'm gonna be doing. So he said, "That's what's up. You just create your own excitement." Oh yeah, I definitely create my own excitement. I used to live in Washington State, over near Idaho, and it was much colder there. I'm talking about I was shoveling the snow twice a day. So this is nothing for me being out here. Not at all. And it would be snowing like months. The first winter I was there, we didn't get snow like maybe December, January, but that second winter I was there, it was coming. And then you still had to go to work. You still had to like drive in the snow. They did not do a good job of clearing the streets. Here in Maryland, the streets are cleared pretty well. Back where I was at, you just had to get in the tracks that were created by the other cars and drive slow. That's how you had to do it over there. Now in Colorado, they do really well with clearing snow off the highway and off the interstate, off the roads and stuff. So that's good too. So it's not too bad there, but Washington State snow and not Seattle, because Seattle's by the water. It doesn't get a lot of snow there. You get a lot of snow on the other side, on the other side of the mountains over there by Idaho. That area. Yes. Beautiful in the summertime, but it is treacherous in my opinion in the winter. He said, "I hope you feel better." Yes, I am on the mend. I am feeling much better. I wasn't coughing and sneezing as much, but I do feel like I'm congested, stuff like that. But y'all, what else we got going on? So I know I did ask the question about what we leaving in 2025, negativity, and we're gonna leave these haters, we're gonna leave these opportunists. Which is interesting. We said opportunity. I mean, I wasn't gonna talk about this, but y'all heard about Candy Burris and Todd Tucker possibly well, I guess they are divorcing, right? And I'll never forget on the Real Housewives show that her mama called that man an opportunist. Lord, I know her mama I'm sure her mom feels vindicated in her treatment of him for all those years. They're married about what, 11, 12 years? But I'm here to tell you, that probably contributed to the divorce. I mean, because my thing is this. Um, I personally, within my family unit, I've never seen anyone have an issue with their in-laws. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get along with all my in-laws, because I have in-laws from like my brother, he got his in-laws, my aunts, I know all their extended family through marriage. Get along with them great. And it would just be odd to me that your in-laws strongly dislike you. So I don't know how you can really have a marriage when you have in-laws that don't like you, like, and very vocal about it. So honestly, I think that they made a good effort to try to have a marriage. They had 2 kids out of this. I said, but when you got your mom constantly, talking down on your husband, like that gets old. You know what I'm saying? So what we got here? So Abby says, yes, I heard about that messy divorce with Candy Burris and her ex-husband. Yeah, I think he had asked for full custody, and then she amended her filing and was saying, I guess she wanted joint custody and that he can be on a parenting plan or something like that. So I mean, it's interesting to me because she's always on the move, making her money. So it's kind of like, okay, so are you going to cut back on making your money so you can be home with the kids? Like, I mean, how does that work? You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like a catch-22. You out here making money, but then they can always say, well, you're not home with the kids, so I need to be custodial parent type of thing. What we got here? Dennis McAllister says, hey, welcome to the live stream. Glad you're here. He said, older brother-in-law expecting blind obedience from the brother is the worst. Older brother-in-law expecting blind obedience from the brother is the worst. It sounds like it. Now I'm gonna tell you, Dennis, I'm not quite following how this lines up. Like, are we talking about the brother of the brother-in-law's brother? I mean, I don't know. But whatever it is, no way in my mind does this sound like anything I want to be involved in. Yeah, older brother-in-law expecting blind obedience from the brother is the worst. I bet it is. But yes, welcome to the live stream, y'all. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, support the channel. It is free. Yes, y'all. Let me ask y'all this. So I usually do live streams on Thursdays. So next week, Thursday, is Christmas. So my goal is to do one live stream a week. Okay. I want to stick to my goal. So when do you guys think I should do the live stream? He said the brother of the sister. The brother of the sister. Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Older brother-in-law expecting blind obedience from the brother is the worst. Gotcha. Okay. I bet. Anytime you expect blind obedience, you're gonna be disappointed. Okay. Just like I don't understand why they thought that this lady, I'm back on Sherrone, why they thought this lady was gonna, support him and protect him, um, blindly. And might end up losing her job. Jobs are hard to come by, okay? And like I said, this man ain't around here. This man ain't around here trying to take care of her, because if he was, she wouldn't be working. But let me stop. So, Lou, it said Wednesday. Abby says Christmas Day, do a live stream. I mean, I can really just do both. I just didn't think that people would want to be on a live stream. I'm be at home chilling on Christmas. So I mean, I could definitely do one, because I'm not going to go home until probably early January. But I can probably do one Christmas Eve and on Christmas Day, if people are going to show up to it. And I can do my little games and whatnot. So yeah, I can make plans to do that for both of them. See who comes. I got to plan out my little Christmas menu. What are y'all doing for Christmas? Are y'all gonna stay home? Or y'all visiting family? What's the move for y'all? What y'all doing? I mean, I'll be talking about me because that's what y'all not talking to me in this chat. So what are y'all doing for the holidays? I know Abby's gonna go probably to Vegas, right, for New Year's, right? Because your birthday is around that time. I don't plan on really doing anything for New Year's. I'm probably gonna stay home then too. Because I want to say the last couple years, last year I stayed home. Yeah, I don't be, you know what, unless I'm like going to like a ball or a gala or something and staying in the hotel where it's at, I don't be motivated to go do anything on New Year's Eve. Now there was a time I went like to Atlanta, I went to the Peach Drop and I did that. It was cool. I did like a winery New Year's Eve thing one year, and that was in Colorado. I went to Atlanta with some girlfriends. We went to a what you call it, a New Year's Eve party situation. It was okay, but I've just and I've stayed at home and just made dinner and just chilled and woke up the next day. It was a new year. I've done that too. So I mean, yes, it's like I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. I know I don't want to be out driving nowhere, coming back, with them fools out there. I don't want to do that. So I may just end up being at home, and we'll see. I don't know. So Jules Charles, welcome to the live stream. Thank you for being here. He says, I know you smell good. I try. I try to smell good. I really do. He said, I'm gonna go take my kids to a soup kitchen to feed the homeless this year. That's nice. That's nice. I never considered doing that, honestly. I did not consider that. Going to a homeless shelter or even to like a food bank or anything like that. Hadn't thought about it. That's pretty cool. Abby said, how do you know I was going down there? Laugh a lot. Because you told me this on one of Corey's live streams. You had mentioned it. Oh yeah, I have a really good memory for those who don't know that. I remember quite a bit. We got Tarania Kelly. Welcome back. I know that you were here earlier, but you've been on the live stream before. So thank you for supporting. Stay home and cook a lot of food, liquor, music, chill vibes, Jamaican love. Yeah, that might be what I'm doing around here. Cooking food, drink, music, and chilling. And I'm gonna make sure everything clean because I'm just gonna relax. Because let me tell you, whoo, Lord, my dad is so excited. I told you I got my dad that plan right. That's why I was late starting the live stream. So he wanted that doggone grill so he can grill his Christmas meal, honey. So that's gonna be delayed. He's gonna get that next Friday. So he'll be doing something else on Christmas Day. But yeah, I thought about going down there so I can cook them a meal and stuff, but I'm gonna let my siblings, take care of that. I'll go down there and see him and my mom early January, or I might push it to February since he was saying he has a medical appointment at the beginning of the month. But I don't want to push it out too far. But we'll see. Let me get off that. So Abby says, okay, laugh out loud. Then Jules says, you always this fly. Jules, have you not seen my page, honey? Are you new to the platform? You need to check out my page, sir. In my opinion, yes. I wore this to work. I got all kind of compliments on this outfit. I had to add my little thing on this so I ain't showing no cleavage, right? But I got this really cute little rhinestone bow on my little dress here. I had on my snake skin thigh high boots. Oh, I'm sorry, that's what we do now. Yes, I had that on today too. I was getting all kind of compliments up at the building. Oh yes. And I got my little hat on. Yes. I had to go. Oh, and I got my cute little snowflake earrings I got from TJ Maxx. Had to go and pull those out for the people for the holidays. Yes. Giving them winter white. That's what I call this. Look, winter white. So yes. So Jules says, you are a real Southern beauty. Wow, I love the accent. And what's interesting is that most people tell me I don't have an accent when I was down in Texas. But now that I'm here in the DMV area, they're saying, oh, you Alabama. They let me know what Alabama means country. Baby, I don't care. Cause yeah, I don't be caring about all that. Mm-mm. So yes. So yeah, so yeah, so I got an accent now. But I can tell you what, I can tell when people are from this DMV because of how they say certain things like Merlin, and just the way they say certain things. But that's how they talk. So they have different. I want to say I don't know if it's dialect, but or maybe it's accent. But depending on where you go in this United States, you can like when you go to Louisiana, Baby, you know how they be saying stuff. Yeah, you know where they from when you hear them. Same thing in this area. But I like this area. The people have been pretty nice. Now this one man on the train, he gonna lean over to me talking about, do I have some food? Sir, I am on a work call trying to get home on this train, and no, I ain't got no food. I looked at him. So yeah, I'm like, oh Lord. Excuse me. Let me tell y'all. So I was, I had caught myself like, because I have a bus stop not far from where I live, so I can walk to my little bus stop in like 5 minutes from like the door to like the stop. And I can ride the bus like 2 stops and then I'm at the train station. Okay. So I don't have to pay to park at the train station if I'm riding this bus. I was outside one day waiting to catch the bus back home. And this man walked up to me. Now, mind you, I had on my earbuds. I'm listening to something on YouTube or whatever. And this man walked up to me and I'm like, to my hello cowgirl. No, he called me sexy cowgirl. I looked at him, I'm like, what can I assist you with? Because I'm over here trying to like listen to my video. And y'all, let me tell you, when I'm watching something, please don't disturb me. If I'm watching a video, a movie, whatever, like, please don't disturb me when I'm trying to focus on what I'm watching. And so I know this man don't know me. Talking about sexy car girl. When he was like, oh man, I just want to let you know. And he was young too. He was one of them. He was a younger dude. Oh, I could tell that. I'm like, no, sir, no. I said, I'm good, thank you. Mm-mm. So you know what I had to do? I had to start driving myself back to the train station. I got to take a break from riding the bus because I said I'm being too accessible, honey. With these folks coming up to me talking about sexy cowgirl and this one dude. Let me tell you about this other dude, y'all. You ain't gonna believe this. And I know y'all chatting. I'm gonna get back, but let me tell you the story because I'm one track mind here. So I was at the bus stop getting ready to catch my bus home. And this young dude walked up to me, right? Again, I'm listening to something on my phone. And the buses in Montgomery County, there's certain ones, they're like the white ones, white and green and whatever. They're not metro buses, but they're like free to whomever, right? And I'm like, bet. So he just hanging out there, at the little bus stop area. And so I'm like, okay, I'm from the South. I try to be friendly. Hey, how you doing? All of that. So this man was talking to me. Oh, oh yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go catch my bus, whatever. And he got on the bus with me, y'all. So I was like, wait a minute. Okay, you yeah, he got on the bus with me, trying to talk to me and stuff. Wanted my phone number. I was like, no. And I have my little ring on. I'm not engaged or married, but I like wearing rings on his finger. It does work to some extent. And he was like, well, do you not see me? Y'all, this little boy asked me when I was pretty much letting him know, not interested, da da da. He gonna ask me, do I not see him? Do I not see him? Okay. I was like, and no offense to anybody that fit the description. No offense. He was a little small little thing, okay? Look like he might have been 14, but he was older. And I'm just like, dude. So I had to I got off the bus, but I had to go in a different direction so he don't know where I live. And he stayed on the bus and he went to like the mall or something. But yes, he done got on the bus. I don't know if he thought that I was gonna take it, like I was gonna become his sugar mama or something, baby. I ain't nobody's sugar mama. I'm gonna tell y'all that now. No, I ain't doing none of that. Okay. So I don't know why these young people trying to talk to me. Because once I turned 40, that's when the young people came out the woodworks. I'd be like, do you not know my age? Like, you 28, sir. What? Talking about we're gonna I want to fly you to Vegas. Fly me to Vegas for what? Y'all, let me tell y'all something. I ain't about to be flying. You not flying me at no doggone Vegas. I'm not going nowhere with no 28-year-old nothing. I'm just telling you. Now, if you my cousin or my niece or my niece or something like that, that's different. But a YN, I see Abby saying a YN. Yes, a YN. Let me get back to y'all in these comments before y'all say I'm babbling too much. So Jules says being beautiful is a gift and a curse. Tell me about it. Yes. So Dwayne BTO says, why is it a gift and a curse? Okay. Let's see what Jules said. He says, as long as they are respectful, that's what matters most. No need for negativity. I truly wish you well and positive health this new year and continue to take care of yourself, Queen. Thank you, Jules. I appreciate that. Yes, thank you. I received all of that. Yes, because I don't need no negativity. I do not. We leave it all there in 2025. We're gonna go into 2022 with positivity and all the good things we can have. We're gonna be out here traveling, living our life. We're gonna be doing that. And we're gonna hope that in 2026 that we do not have another black man giving out millions and losing $30 million. We're gonna hope we're gonna leave that in 2025. Okay? Yes. Mm-hmm. That's what we're gonna also leave in 2020. We're gonna leave this giving away money unless we receiving it right. But giving away money like that, we're gonna leave that in 2025. It should never have came into 2025. So Jules says, I'm going to subscribe to your page and jewel over some of your photos, son. Oh, well, aren't you sweet? But I appreciate you supporting the channel by subscribing. I do. So y'all, I am not monetized, but we're working towards that, right? So I'll get back to the comments, but I do the live stream. I mean, my platform is really about fashion and stuff, and then a little bit of DMV twist, if you will. So I chose to do live stream so I can kind of connect more with people who support the page. We can talk about pretty much whatever within reason. Like today, we talked about this Sherrone Moore thing. But we can talk about fashion, other current events. So I started using this new platform called Restream. So now I can like show different little clips and stuff to kind of make it a little bit more interesting. But yeah, so that's the whole point of why I do this. So, but yeah, I just kind of vibe off what you guys put in the chat, and and if it's a little quiet, then I'll have a few little videos to go through that. That's kind of what I do. Not that you asked, I figured I'd just go ahead and share that since I'm talking about all this, right? So Dwayne says, I'm telling you, public transportation has to be one of the most annoying things most times. Dwayne, yes. I don't know if I welcomed you to the live stream, but welcome again if I didn't. Yes. Yes. Public transportation. And I guess in San Antonio where I moved from, they did have transportation that was public, but I didn't use it like I do here because living out in Maryland and going into DC, I just said the train is more convenient. I could drive, but like the drive in that morning wouldn't be that bad, but coming back, it would probably bumper to bumper. So I could like maybe drive in maybe once a week, but I don't know. I do okay with the train. I try to make sure that I am on it like during regular, commuting times, if you will. I don't do the train at night. Like when I say night, it may be dark outside. I'm like night, like after 7. I try to be where I'm at before then. And if I'm gonna be out late, I'm gonna just probably go ahead and just drive or whatever. But yes, y'all, this public transportation, it can be convenient and it could be, all those things, but it be the people on there sometimes. Like, let me tell y'all, I was on there coming home from work one day, and this lady came on the train, older lady, and she had on like a sheet and some socks. And I'm just looking. I got my headphones on my phone. I'm vibing with whatever I'm looking at. And there were a couple of rows in the cart that were empty. And she walked past those empty rows to sit next to this man. He looked at me, I looked at him. As soon as the bus went to the next stop, he got off. And she got off right behind him with that sheet on and them socks and went on by her way. Looking like a queen, honey. She had all the energy, okay? Yes. Let's see, we got here. So Abby says he was trying to shoot a shot. Can you blame him? I mean, I guess I can't blame him. I don't know now. I just feel like, I don't know. Like, really? Really, don't. I don't even know what to say. So we have Panzerlight says you got drip bread. Okay, I got drip. Okay. That sounds like I need to accept that. Okay, I receive that. Welcome to the live stream. Glad you're here. Abby said he's basically a YN. Yep. Reason I got you says, hello, friend. How you doing, Reason I got you? Welcome to the live stream. I don't recall seeing your name before. But yeah. Welcome. Glad you're here. Yes. We got Panzerlight saying, cause you don't look a day over 30. Why, thank you. I try, like I told my brother, I try to do that good living. Okay. That's why I feel like I look younger than him. And he's 8 years, younger than me. But I just be messing with him. He got 4 kids, honey. He got a lot going on. Yup. So we got Abby saying, fly you to Vegas to get some box. Laugh out loud. He wasn't gonna get that, and I did not go. No. So Jules said you should have started drooling and making weird noises. I guarantee you he would have left you alone. That's a good point. He probably would have. So Reason I Got You said hi. Hey. And we got Oznet talking about nice wig. Oh, why, thank you. Nice wig, huh? If you say so. Reason I Got You said, been subscribed to you 3 months ago. Well, thank you for subscribing. Yes. Thank you for coming out the bushes, as they say, and chatting on here. Yes, y'all. So, yeah. So, I asked before about doing a live stream next week. So, I should do one on Christmas Day and then on Christmas Eve. So, I will do that because I don't have anything else planned. So, why not? And I'll get those scheduled and we'll see. But what else y'all got? What are y'all doing for the holidays? I know one person said, was it Jules? He's taking his kids to the food bank. What else y'all doing for the holidays? Like where I'm at, a lot of folks are already off. Like my one homegirl, she been off since Monday. She don't go back to work until like January the 12th. I said, man, that must be nice. Man, that must be nice to be off almost a month. Okay. So the reason I got you said I have talked to you before, you just don't remember. Okay, that's fair. Well, I'm glad that you're talking today. Thank you. Yeah, reason I got you. Where are you from? What state are you in? I'm assuming you're here in the U.S. Mm-hmm. Yes, y'all. So I got 7 people watching. Make sure y'all support the channel, like the live stream. Help your girl, help her sister out. Yes. Trying to get monetized and all that good jazz here. Abby says, I got to see my auntie in the east end of the city Christmas Eve. Oh, that's sweet. I wish my nephews lived near me. That's one reason why I was thinking about going back to Alabama, Georgia, because my niece's birthday is on Saturday. But I don't know if I'm gonna swing it. We'll see. I don't know. I gotta make sure that I'm good. Cause you already know, like when you get around, when I get around my nieces and nephews, why do I end up getting sick? Yes, I end up getting sick. So these kids be they be doing some things. Okay, So the reason I got you said Waco, Texas, down the street from San Antonio. Okay, I've heard of Waco. I don't think I've ever been to Waco though. I lived in Texas for almost 10 years, so I like Texas, honestly. I love the food. I mean, they got good restaurants around here in the DMV, but you gotta know where they are. I can go pretty much anywhere in San Antonio and get me a pretty good meal. So that's me. So here I end up going to a lot of the same places, but I do try to like venture out some by looking at like TikToks, Instagram things to see what's out there. So you know how that is. Abby said, "Got to make sure your health is in order before doing that." Exactly, because these kids are gonna sit here and get me sick again. My goodness. So Pants Light says, whereabouts you at? I'm in Maryland. That's where I'm at in Maryland. Yep. So yeah. You know what? I hope that I didn't have anybody on here from Twitch because I honestly haven't been looking at these comments. Oh, wait a minute. I see Osnet talking about big double chin. Okay. Yeah, you know, some of these folks come on here, you know, talking crap. So yeah, that's what they do, y'all. You know, depending on what they say that's crap like, I might do a little clap back so I can create me a little short and post it, get some more views and more subscribers. But you know, that's not worth it today. That little bit. I have no desire today, but maybe next week I will. And so reason I got you said they got good food in Texas. They really do. They really do have good food in Texas. I mean, when I went back this past weekend, I was there for like less than I want to say 30 hours. I was there. And I got off the plane trying to get to these restaurants, trying to get to that food. But I go back again in January, hopefully. So we got Panzerlight. I know I'm not saying it right. Have you traveled anywhere outside the US? I have actually. So I have been to Mexico. I've been to Tulum. I've been to Cancun. I've been to the Grand Cayman Islands. Cause I did a cruise once, and so that's when I went to the Grand Cayman. I went to Grand Cayman, Cozumel, and Key West, which I know Key West is not outside the U.S., but that's part of the cruise I went on. Then I went to Tulum just to go because I had heard so much about it. I wanted to see it. It was nice. I did my underwater photo shoot there. And y'all, I can't swim. So I did an underwater photo shoot where I did it with I did a mermaid tail, and then I did like a jungle photo shoot. And I also did one without the mermaid tail too. So I was in that water for hours, and you had to like go underwater, breathe, make sure your face looked right. It was an experience. Yes. So I might need to post the pictures of I'll post a picture on my community wall so you can see the photo or whatever. But yeah, so I've been to Germany, I've been to Italy, I've been to Rome a couple times, I've been to Venice, I've been to the Amalfi Coast, I've been to Vicenza, and I have been to was that it for Italy? Maybe so. I've been to Paris once. I've been to Prague once. I've been to somewhere else, I think. I can't remember. But yeah, so I've been out the country a little bit. I love Europe. I want to go back next spring. So I've seen where, you know, it's kind of if you go outside of the tourist season, in my opinion, you have a better opportunity of staying where you want to stay, getting into the different excursions, like seeing the museums and stuff, opposed to going like during the instead of going like during the tourist season. I like to go outside of it. So yeah. But I want to go see more. I want to go to Amsterdam. My homegirls went to Amsterdam. They went to go see Beyonce in her concert over there in London. So they went to London, Amsterdam, and somewhere else. But y'all know I love outdoor photo shoots, right? And they have they have all these tulips out there. So I want to go back. Well, I want to go to Amsterdam to go see the tulips. That's what I want to do. So we'll see if I can make that happen. What else we got here? Reason I got you said, yeah, people are always ignorant. Exactly. They ignorant for no reason. Just ignorant. Like, I don't get it. But okay. They just gonna be ignorant today. All right. So Abby says, what is your favorite European country? I guess Italy. Y'all, if I could get a job in Italy, I would be gone. You hear me? I would be gone. If I could get a job in Italy. This lady I used to work with, I got to see her when I was in San Antonio, and what's interesting, she's Italian, but she was not born in Italy. Her lineage is Italian, right? So when I went on my trip, because I went for like 3.5 weeks, I called it the Odyssey. I wasn't doing YouTube, but I wish I would have been. Because I actually like took some footage, but I never like put it as a video. So I did like a year, I did a cooking class when I was over in Italy. So I have footage from that. So I might try to like make something to put on the page for that, but I digress. So I've said it, I'm gonna have to do it now, right? I was supposed to do it in October, but I never did. So anywho, so when I went on my trip, she was like, "Oh my God, I'm Italian, but I've never been." So she went. I want to say last year she went to Italy with her uncle. Okay, and so when I met up with her last Friday, she went to Italy twice this year. I was happy for her because I believe when you retire, retire on your own terms and retire when you still have good health, so you can enjoy what you've earned. Like I have one friend, he is like 70 years old, honey. That man still go to work every day. I mean every day. He'll be in there on a Saturday. And I don't know what his mission is, but he just like going to work. He like doing stuff. And so I understand that some people need to have something to do, and he's one of them. But baby, if I had the money he had, I would be sitting somewhere chilling. Okay? That's just me. So Pans were like, says you've been everywhere. I ain't been everywhere. I'm just trying to, I'm trying to get some places. You know what I'm saying? I want to go to Canada. So that's on my list. So we need to write out in our planners, right, where we want to go in 2026. We need to write our goals and stuff out. So every year I do like a what they call it? A vision board. Yes. I like doing them because when you look at them, it kind of reminds you of what your goal is, what you want to do. Because for me, I need to have things written out. I need to see things. So that's what I have to do for me. Abby says, "Well, can you speak Italian?" No, I cannot. I cannot. Let me tell you, when I went over there, I made sure that on my Google phone, I knew how to use that Translate app. It came in clutch because I would type my words in, and then it would speak the language for them. They'll be surprised because that's how I communicated with them if they didn't speak English. A lot of people over there do speak English, but I don't want to just assume, oh well, you're gonna speak English because I'm English. No, no, I'm in your country, so I'm gonna try my best to be able to speak to you in whatever way I can in your language. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what I did. But most people there had some level of English that they spoke. So it wasn't too bad. Pangelite said Eastern Europe is nice, especially around Christmas. I know. I was about all the Christmas markets and stuff like that. So I would love to go back I would love to live there if I could for at least a few years, and and see some things. So I still got a little time in me left. We'll see if I can make that happen. So Abby says, come to Toronto and I can be your tour guide. Okay. I want to go to Toronto. That's on my list. I have never been to Canada. So yes, we're gonna see what I can make happen in 2026. So Peninsula has only been to Europe and Africa. That's nice. I've never been to Africa. So I'm hoping I can get there too. I've heard that Cape Town was nice. But yeah, I want to go one day. My brother is saying that he wants to have a family trip over there when the kids get bigger and we just all go to Africa. I don't know if I'm gonna be doing that. Or I'll probably do it, but I'm not gonna be waiting for that to be my first time going. Let me just say that. He got 4 kids, y'all, and that's gonna be some work, okay? So Abby says Google Translator definitely is your best friend. It was. I had never heard of it, but I had made sure I had it on my phone. I sure did. It came in handy. Yes, it did. But y'all, we have been on here chatting for over 2 hours, right? So I'm gonna make sure I put in that community wall like a picture or whatever from my little mermaid photo shoot thing. My underwater. I was really underwater wearing that mermaid tail, and I couldn't even move my feet, y'all, because you got little things at the bottom of the tail that kind of hold the feet in. So I can't swim, so I was being moved around. This other lady was in the water with me in the what do they call those things? Oh, I can't think of what they call the little watering hole. I'll make sure I put it in the on the wall. But yeah, and she was pulling me around with a life rafter thingy. So she was like my water taxi. But yes, y'all. Well, I'm going to go ahead and sign off because I got to go to work in the morning. But I enjoyed the live stream. I'm going to schedule one for next Wednesday and Thursday. Please check me out. Support the channel. And I will see y'all on the next video or live stream. Y'all have a blessed week. Bye.